Right, welcome back everybody. We're on a fresh new video now, and we're actually in a Range Rover Evoque today. And what we're going to be doing in this video is changing the rear brake pads on it. So the pads are actually worn down just on the driver's side rear, down to the metal nearly. You can hear them binding as we're driving. So the discs are actually alright. We've inspected the discs, so they can get away without changing the discs on it. There's no lip on them. They seem to be looking alright, but first of all, before we can do anything, I've got the vehicle jacked up and both rear wheels off now. I didn't show you that because I've shown you that in many of other videos, but on these Range Rovers Evoques, you have to put the vehicle in park, service, maintenance mode, and that's because it has an electronic handbrake on it. So I'm going to show you now how we're going to get around and do that. So by the electronic parking brake, that's what I mean. Don't actually have the manual handbrake on this. So what we do, and this vehicle does require a service, but that's not going to be happening in this video, so just don't worry about the service light for now because we're just doing the brakes. So you put the ignition on, let the needles do their sweep, and then ignition on, you hold that down there, the park brake button, you push it on. So you hold your electric handbrake button down. You then put your foot down on the accelerator while holding the handbrake down, so you've got them two pushed down. And then what you do next is just quickly fire your on and off start button, so off, on. And then you'll hear a whirring noise coming from the rear wheels. And that goes on for about 10 seconds, and when that stops, you can release everything then. And there we go, the whirring stops, you can let go, and now it says on the dashboard, when it flashes back, park brake in maintenance mode. So now we can go ahead and start removing our rear calipers, because if you don't put it into park mode, maintenance mode, your calipers are going to be constantly pressed because the parking brake is going to be on. So you must do this little step before you do anything else. So let's go and take a look at the brake pads now. Right, so this is the fending corner, and I don't know if you can see in there, that brake pad is literally down to the metal by the sounds of it. The other side's got about a quarter of the meat left, but this one, as I say, there's no damage on there, there's no lip on that disc. They got away with that lightly. And on this one again, the light's not very good down here, but there is about just under a quarter of that pad left on there, so we've got a bit of uneven wear there. That could be due to someone just replacing that far side pads and not doing this side, or it could have a sticky piston, so we will double check that when we take that apart. Right folks, so I've actually done the other side. It was nice and easy really. So you've literally got two 13mm nuts to loosen off here, and you probably will find that these will spin, these rubber boots, so you can actually hold back there with a 15mm socket. So you want a 13 at the front and a 15 just to hold back on it. Only them two. That will pull your carrier off, and then you just rest that up out of the way, and then that will release your two brake pads. And what I've done on the other side is I'll just give everything a bit of a clean up. So we'll get them off now and have a look, see how bad these are. I'll show you the other pads in a minute. They weren't too bad, they still had a bit of life left in them. So what I'm going to do is just going to crack these. Right, so that's cracked, and at this moment in time that nut's not spinning, so them ones are held, but the ones on the other side I did have to hold back. So that's the little bolt that I'm on about there. So we'll do the bottom one as well. There we go. Again, this one is not spinning, so we got away with that. So we might need the spanner though when we do it back up. So that is that. And then you just get yourself a screwdriver just to prise your caliper back. There we go. And that piston is right out on that one. These ain't winding pistons, these are actually push back in. But I am actually using the wind back tool because it's just a lot easier than trying to get a set of grips to reach around that. So I just rest that up there on that arm, which wedge it in because you don't want it to drop down and hang on the brake line. So again, we'll just prise these brake pads out. And there is a very little bit of meat left on them. I'm quite surprised there's no wear indicators on these, on the the pads or a digital one, being there digital brakes and all that, you thought it might throw a light up, but there's actually no wear indicator on that at all there. But you can actually hear it binding now along the pad. We'll have a look on the back one. Oh, that one is literally just touching the metal now. And again, they've got away with that. Very lucky, because it's only just started doing that in the last couple of days, so they have got it in just in time where it hasn't actually done any damage to the disc. But you can see the top of that there is well gone. So what I'll do next is just pop your little sliders out. Some brake pad companies do give you these with new bolts as well. The company that we've actually used today, you don't get them, so just give them a clean up. And I'll just literally get myself a wire brush and clean in that channel there. So be careful not to be breathing this brake dust in, because it's not very good for you, this stuff. And someone actually has painted these calipers in the past, this red colour, because you can tell on the rubber boots the paint's cracking off, and it's actually painted a bit of paint on them sliders there. You can see that there, but that's what you're aiming for there. Get them sliders nice and shiny again. Get any crap off of there, because that's where your brake pads run in and out. And I do dab a bit of brake grease in there when I do come to putting everything back together. So we can just clip them back on there. We'll get the top one off. There we go. And again, not too bad that one, but there is a bit of crap in there, so we will clean that anyway while we're here. And again, just get any crap out of there, and then just slide them back in. Make sure they clip in, which they have done there. That's that done. Here's the brake winding tool I'm using. I've actually took the reservoir cap off of the brake fluid as well, because I don't know the history of this. With these being run flat, when they bought this car a couple of years ago, the person that sold it might have just topped the brake level up, the brake oil up to bring it up to max, so we don't know. So just take your cap off just to give it a chance of running out. There's a bit of tissue around there, so if anything does come out, it will be covered. So, and I say this one is definitely right out, because I can't even get the tool in with the plate on there. So I'm going to have to wind it in a bit without that little plate on, with just the knobbles there. It's just a bit more awkward trying to turn this when you've got the little nipples on the end there, but we'll just get it in a couple of turns. Right, we'll see if we can get that in there now. Right, so that's fully home now. So just back that off. We can get that out. I'm happy with that. Just rest that back up there again. Now I'm just going to put a bit of brake grease on these runners. Careful not to get any grease on the discs. If you do, just get yourself a bit of a brake cleaner and clean it off. I mean, you can put this grease on while it's off the car. So then you want to get your brake pad and just drop it in. And then just do the same with the other one. And then once you've done your ends, just again line it up. Just pop that in there like that. I always forget to put gloves on, so I always get mucky hands. So now we're just going to pop these sliders out. These wasn't bad on the other side, and to be honest, these don't look too bad either. So normally you can get wear marks on them pins, but them pins are excellent. So again, I'm just going to put a bit of grease in there, a bit of fresh stuff, just rub it all round. Don't be frightened. Pop that back in, listen for the click. There we go. And that's all three turning now. And again, just do the bottom one. Again, this grease don't look like too old in there, the same as the other side, so they look like they've been maintained to an extent. And that's the paint I was on about there. Can you see that red paint? That's been flaking off with movement of the boot. So again, just pop that in, listen for the click. There we go, that's that done. Get the crap off your hands. And then this should just sit back on beautifully because the piston is round right back in there. So it's just like that. I'm just going to get a bit of thread lock to put back on my nuts there, and I'll be back with you. Right then, so a bit of thread lock on them. I'm just using the red thread lock because that's what was on the bolts, what come out of them, so just go with what was on them originally. So yeah, it's only going to be a quick little video this one because they're really easy, going on lovely actually, which is nice. So just nip them up. So that is the brakes done, and then what I like to do is just go round, right round, and give everything a clean up, a bit of a clean rag, just make sure everything's clean, there's no contaminants on your discs or your pads that shouldn't be there. And I'll get my torque wrench, I'll just torque them up, get the wheels back on, and then we'll take it off of service mode and make sure everything's alright. So I'll see you in the vehicle in a minute. Right guys, so we're back in the vehicle now, everything's buttoned up as it should be. The brake fluid under the bonnet was perfectly fine. It was back to the maximum mark. So I'm happy with that. It looks like no one obviously put no fluid in it because it's gone back up now. We've compressed them pistons back in. So that's back to where it should be on the maximum. So we're going to go ahead now and do the reversal and take this vehicle out of brake maintenance mode. So what you do is put your ignition on, which is the start button there. And again, I'm going to have to just rest you on the steering wheel here because I need to use both hands. So first of all, instead of pulling it up this time, you're pushing it down. So hold that down. So you're holding it down, and then you put the accelerator down again, and then you do the button off and on. And that's all done. So we've just got the service required light on there now. So that's going to be another video for that one. So this one is fully back to normal now. If you push your button down, you should hear the brake release. So there's the brake releasing, and you pull it back up again, and the brake's back on again. So that was a quick little fast blast on this Range Rover Evoque. How to change the rear pads and how to put it in and out of park service maintenance mode. Remember, you must put it into maintenance mode when you're doing this, otherwise you're going to have a hell of a job trying to get them rear calipers off. I'm going to leave it here for this little one, and until next time, we'll see you about.